Hey everybody, this is Corey Salted True Floyd. We are the Amerime Junkies. Today we're sitting down with our special guest, Run DMG. We're going to be talking to this guy about what he does love, and everything in between. All that and more on the Amerime Junkies podcast. Let's go.
I love that intro.
Hey,
Like,
thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Y'all met Mike Pondsmith?
Yep. Interviewed him
Corey's
too.
dad.
His daddy.
Shut
That's
your
right.
ass up.
Because
Anyway.
I heard he was at like PAX Unplugged, but I missed him. I was so sad.
Yeah. But hey
Was you
guys,
there?
Yeah, I went to PAX Unplugged. Yeah.
Hey guys, we're the Amerime Junkies, and we're here today with Run DMG. But first, got to talk to the biggest boss of the bosses, comic boss.
Hey
What's good,
guys,
baby?
it's your favorite podcaster's favorite podcaster. Today's a special one. We're gonna let Ryan, aka Run DMG, or Run Damage, is actually pronounced. We're gonna talk about why he's here and the amazing things that his charity is doing.
And of course,
me?
we've got
Tell me when you want me to do my spiel.
Of course, we've got Demon Engine here as always. My co-pilot, the Isekai boy. What's up, Demon?
Why you
Yo,
tell
yo. You know why. Don't. You know damn why. Don't act like you don't know.
Demon, you keep messing up. I'm gonna burn this sage.
You're too far away. That does not. It no longer affects me. So haha. You fighting your demons with fucking sage. I'm fucking mine. We aren't the same.
And of course, today's guest, Ryan, aka Run DMG. What's up, Ryan? How are you, man?
I am doing great. This is a blast already.
I met Ryan at PAX Unplugged. That, of course, took place in our wonderful hometown of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, and it was a
where are
pimping
you
good
from,
time.
Ryan?
Originally from North Carolina, lived in DC for a long time. I am currently in San Antonio now.
Okay, cool.
We have somebody in Texas. We have a couple folks. A couple Blurts podcast and Kika the ATX model who lives in Austin. So
Cool.
big shout out to Lone Star State.
Yeah,
But
man.
no.
Next time you in Philly, man, we gotta hook up. Next time you here for Text Unplugged or something.
Yeah, I'm
We can
definitely coming back.
introduce you to Sword Truth's father.
Shut up.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I'm definitely coming back to PAX Unplugged.
That man's
again.
successful. You better go get that back child support. Stop playing these games.
Horrible. But no, we're here to talk Run DMG because, of course, Run DMG stands for
Dungeon Master's Guide. Or Damage, I guess.
Either way,
That's a
it
lot
works.
of damage.
But you're very big on D&D. You also have quite the following on TikTok as well.
And Instagram.
Getting there on
Right
Instagram.
now.
I make a lot of memes. People seem to enjoy.
Listen, sometimes it's all you need. It's a good meme to get through the day.
Exactly. That's my fault.
All right, so let me ask you, what type of D&D character do you play when you're not DM?
Honestly, I gravitate towards Bard a lot.
Okay.
I'm a jokey person. I feel like I'm a jokey person by nature. And I definitely the type of person that likes to talk over fighting just in my real life. And the idea that I could do that in a fantasy world with like a dragon is very funny to me. So I definitely gravitate towards bards.
Demon Engine right now is a bard in our camp, but he was a bard in our last campaign, and he did what all bards do.
I can only imagine.
I fucking hate
I
you,
bet.
motherfuckers. No, you don't understand. Because I was playing, and I wasn't playing like a traditional bard. I wasn't trying to seduce anyone. Though everywhere I went, there was an orgy. Because I'm playing music and subconsciously inspiring people to get horny and fuck. And these motherfuckers tricked me into fucking a dragon.
How do they trick you?
Right.
Where does the trick come in?
The trick comes in because I was already all right. This is how the stage starts. We have our little ship. I'm the captain, and there's a sound system in my room connected to my guitar that plays throughout the rest of the ship. So while I'm just playing music, everyone's getting riled up. Fucking his character over there starts going around drugging people, getting them drunk. An orgy starts on the rest of the ship while I'm playing music. I stop for a moment, and all I hear is fucking. Open the door, and my champion, the motherfucker I tricked into being my simp and believing that I am a goddess. I hear all these bitches over there moaning his name down the hall. I'm just like, I'm gonna close this door. I'm gonna go back to playing music, and the next thing you know, fucking, I hear a specific knock on my door. I'm thinking it's my champion. Lo and behold, is one of the other players fucking dragons, and we got into a fucking roll off, a battle of charisma, and somehow me, with like my 25 charisma, fell to the dragon.
It happens.
What?
They're very charismatic, these dragons.
Twice. I fell to the dragon twice because I had to roll for performance. I have a 19 for my performance roll, and I still roll low. I fucking hate it. Now I'm just like the rest of these fucking bards. You couldn't let me be great.
To be fair, it did sound like you're more of a maestro of orgies, maybe not a participant of them, but I think that's still very bard.
Now
busting it open.
Now I can't think of the fucking shit from Team 4-Star. The dragon made a yummy shit. And I really want I can't think of it now and just fucking ruin it. Because now I just think about dragon dick. Instead of actually eating dragons. Fucking pendejos.
Do you have any wild stories from any of your campaigns?
Nothing as wild as that, I'll say. Nothing catches that. I don't know if I can't top that. I can't top that at all.
Listen, I'm about to start a TikTok series talking about our D&D campaigns because I'm the DM for our campaigns, and every time one of these crazy fucks do something wild, I got stories for days from our campaigns.
Horrible. Ryan,
greatness.
Tell me about your first D&D experience.
So it's kind of funny. My first D&D experience, I think I was like 6 or 7 years old. There were some kids in my neighborhood playing. I want to say it was like second edition. They were playing second edition. It was very. I don't know. It's almost like I remember it with like a dreamlike quality because I was really just way too young, did not really understand what was happening. People just asked me questions, I would answer yes or no, or like this is what I would do. I was like a halfling bard, and I have like a weird memory of like killing a snake and then taking the snake's like fangs and stuff like that. I was having a lot of fun. I really enjoyed it. This was like neighborhood kids. My brother was in it. He's like 4 or 5 years older than me at that point. So, teenage, some tweens, teens, and then me, like I was basically my brother's pet for a long time. Like I didn't have a full character sheet. I just had like a couple things I could do. And I remember getting a full character sheet because I guess I understood the game enough at that point. And then our parents found out about it. And this would have been like 98 probably. And when my parents found out, they freaked out on my brother and I. They're like, we're not gonna have some like basement dwelling like cultists in our
Oh my
home.
God.
Like you can worship Satan on the street if you want to do it. So, but like it was
Oh
out of pocket,
God.
They went
wild.
full satanic panic on
Oh
you.
yeah, full bore. And I mean, I was 7 at the time, so I was like, all right, I don't understand what's happening. And I stopped playing. I guess my brother kept on playing for a little while afterwards, but and then I just didn't pick it up again until I think it was like senior year of college. And there was a gaming store. I went to school in DC at GW, and there was a gaming store on a campus. We used to take the bus there, and I just fell in love. Like a friend convinced me. I was like really against it at first. I was like, I don't want to do this nerdy stuff. Like I'm already nerdy enough as it is. I'm an aerospace engineer. Like I like cartoons. I don't need to add in like D&D on top of it to like build up an even stronger barrier between me and women. And and then I was like really against it. He's like, just come, just play once. I think you'll really enjoy it. Did that. I was like halfway through the session. We were playing. It was like Adventures League. And I remember being like, fuck, I really love this. This is going to be a problem for me. And I've been going strong ever since. I've talked to my parents since then. And they're like, we would never have done that. You're making that up. Then I remember like, they're saying that. And I look over to my older brother's like, do you remember that? He's like, yeah, you said it was devil worship.
Of course.
Yeah.
Hilarious.
Of course, now that is mainstream. And speaking
Yeah.
of, I like the skull behind your shoulder.
Oh yeah. This is my office / library, and it is like all the books stacked up here are different D&D books from different eras.
Nothing wrong with that.
And it's not even counting my bookshelf or all the stuff that's on the floor right now.
Are you the DM for your group, or do you even have a group in Texas?
Yeah, Texas, I tried to do an in-person group for a little while. It just kind of fell off after a couple sessions. I mostly do online right now, so I DM for a couple of groups. I DM for like 2 groups. Especially through COVID, I use D&D and like other tabletop RPGs as a great tool to keep in touch with people. Just because I'm a out of sight, out of mind type of person. I may love that person for everything. The only person that's been able to stick in my head long enough for me to remember to text them is my wife. So I use it as like a scheduling tool to like not even quite force myself, but just to like interact with my friends. So a lot of friends from DC I play with online. I'm actually a player in a couple of their games, so I introduced them to D&D. They started playing, they got really into it, decided they wanted to start running their own games, and now I'm a player in their game. So it's kind of the best case scenario for a forever GM.
Right. Do you think D&D going mainstream helped it or hurt it?
I 100% think it helped. When I first got into it way back when, as a kid, when you really think about like what D&D was, it was a handful of people, most likely men, most likely straight, most likely white, making stories for most likely straight, most likely men, and most likely white people. Yeah, I don't want to necessarily, Mike Pondsmith and people like that were out there playing and doing game stuff. I don't necessarily want to say that they weren't part of it, but they weren't the majority. And I think the more people that get into it, the better stories you get, the better people you get. Like when you look at something like Dimension 20, or any of the other big ones like Critical Role, like Lou Wilson and the rest of the cast, Siobhan Thompson, all those other people, the people that get into it, I think have made it so much better than if it was just a bunch of if it was just so cloistered and only a handful of people were doing it.
Right. Lou Wilson, Bria Iyengar.
Yeah, Bria, yeah.
Brothers. Then they got Desi Quest, where we're all Hindu players now.
I think that's great. I think that's awesome. Because I think when you have, just people from different backgrounds coming up with some of these stories, you're just going to hit notes and you're going to hit emotional equivalence. You're just going to hit an emotional tone that, me pretending to be something, like if I were to be like a stereotypical, like doing it like a, like pretending to be somebody from that culture, like I'm a pretender. I'm not going to come up with the real deal actual experience. Now I can experience that when they do it, but when I do it, it's not going to hit the same note really. So I love that it's become so wide stream, and like there's so many different things. It's becoming like, I think, a full bore genre. Like everybody can have their own piece of it.
Okay. Okay. So what other tabletop games are you really into right now?
Yes, that's the wrong question to ask. It's so many.
No, that's the right question.
So many. I almost like, I'm gonna take my camera. People usually see today. That is my that's the library right there.
God
And I'm
damn.
not even gonna show you the stuff that's on the floor because I ran out of space. Because I'll be too embarrassed. But I love D&D 5e. I'm trying to kind of like move off of Dungeons and Dragons a little bit because there's just a lot of cool tabletop RPGs out there right now. So I've started
Okay.
playing like Pathfinder 2e, which is D&D adjacent. Starfinder. Vampire the Masquerade's a ton of fun. If y'all haven't played Vampire the Masquerade, highly recommend. Especially if y'all like if you like doing wild and kind of out of pocket stuff, Vampire the Masquerade
Definitely.
is a great avenue for that.
That might be good for you, Demon Engine.
The whole franchise as a whole is so vast and open because not only the tabletop but even the video game, which thanks to the PC mod community, kept that game going.
Yeah.
And now it's come through full circle. So
It's coming back. They have like a trading card game, I think.
Yep.
There even.
Trading card game, new video game. And I remember as a matter of fact, last year at PAX they had a Vampire the Masquerade table. I remember because they were showing off some new stuff. But yeah, it's amazing.
It's a lot of fun. I've gotten into like Free League stuff, which is I don't know where they would rank in maybe like the top 5, probably like 3 or 4. But they have a lot of cool games. They do licensed games really well. So they've got they've got an Alien game. They got Blade Runner.
We're actually friends with Free League. Shout out to Doug Shoot and Free League. They've provided us with Alien, The Walking Dead, and Blade Runner. Excuse me. Sorry, I had like a random stint of Cottonmouth for some reason.
Well, no, we're not talking about you, Corey. We're talking about Demon Engine. And his
friend
oh God.
And that's FW, sir.
Just gotta raise that camera up. But I'm jealous because I've been trying to be friends with Free League for such a long time. I've got like one contact there.
I will be more than happy to see if I can set you up properly.
All right, yeah. Because I'm on their like reviewer list, but like I've been like making memes about like Free League stuff and everything, like Hey, Daddy Free League, like take a look at me.
I got you. Don't worry about that. I'll make sure the right people get in touch with you. Okay.
I appreciate that. But yeah, so I love Free League stuff. I'm actually going to play The Walking Dead. I think next week. There's going to be a stream of it that I'm on, which I'm really excited for. I think it's going to be a really fun system. I've also gotten into like rules light stuff, which is like really easy to manage. Doesn't take a whole lot of prep to like learn how to do. Players can pick it up. So like things like Merkborg, like Troika.
Yep, we got Merkborg.
Yeah.
Into the Odd is a ton of fun if you guys haven't tried that. It's even simpler than Merkborg. It is like you can roll up a character in like 2 minutes. You can run a game in like 5. It's super cool.
Okay.
But yeah, and then I've just things like Mothership. A lot of like I'm trying to go more indie, like small tier stuff, just because it's nice to throw. If I've got expendable income, I could either give it to like a big company and be whatever, or I can give it to like a small company and I could like really make their day or like make their year.
Trust me, I feel you. Right now, as a matter of fact, I've got to make sure I hit up our buddy over at Monster Fight Club, Dan, because Dan's supposed to have something for us with Cyberpunk Combat Zone and I think Borderlands as well.
Ooh, that'd be cool.
Yeah. So, yeah. And have you played Cyberpunk campaign as of late?
I have not. That is on the top of my list. I've got some of the old Cyberpunk stuff, like the 2020 stuff. I've been wanting to play an old school game, so I heard it was a lot of fun. I have Cyberpunk Red, and a couple of different things, but I've not been able to find a table, nor have I been able to like find enough people to like get it together. But yeah, I read through that book and it was so
Well,
cool.
let us know when you wanna. Yeah.
Yeah, we
Oh
could
yeah,
definitely set up a stream to play Cyberpunk. I would definitely be down.
Shit. No, let's do a live.
Yeah,
Let's do let's do a TikTok live of it. Shit.
The what?
oh yeah.
Cyberpunk
to play
Red.
Cyberpunk, and
Oh,
and, and that could tie into why Ryan is actually here in the first place.
That's true.
So Ryan is running an amazing charity. As I said in the beginning, he is doing an amazing charity, Doctors Without Borders.
Yeah, so um, I decided, the month of January. I think I don't want to seem like I was a great planner in this either. Like 10 days before January 1st, like right around Christmas time, I was thinking to myself, like, how do I want to spend the first month of January? Like, we're talking about like goals for the year, and I decided I really want to do something for charity. And I think around that time, I read a report talking about like what was happening in Gaza. And it had been going on for a while, but like it really put the visceral numbers of the amount of people that have been hurt, like the fact that they don't have running water, all this stuff, and I just felt something really deep. I was like, you know what? Spend the month of January, try to raise some money, try to get some medical aid to them in some way. So I started reaching out to a few people. Jordan Brown, who's also on TikTok, reached out to me. He's like, well, I've been doing Doctors Without Borders because they're basically one of the handful of charities that are actually like going in and like
Mm-hmm.
doing medical work there. So I was like, let's do that. And I put out a call on TikTok, like a friends only thing, like, hey, I'm thinking I'm going to do this for January. If you're interested, let me know. Like maybe we can do something together. I thought I'd maybe get like 4 or 5 people. Ended up getting like 30 before the thing launched. Of all different sizes, we've got people with like 1,000 followers on up to people with 1 million followers involved. So and we've just been, I mean, maybe it could have benefited from slightly more structure, but I was like, we're going to do 2 teams. We're going to compete against who can raise the most money. Anything is, valid. You can keep on hitting my mic. You can, sell seats at your table. You can do guest spots. You can sell promo. You can, if you make something, you can sell it there. And it's been going great. We're up to, I think let's see, make sure there's any more donations. We're over $5,000. We're at 5,170 right now. We're not even halfway through the month. I think we can hopefully make it to 10K before the end of the month. I think that would be amazing. But yeah, it's been a blast. We've got a lot of really great people involved. Now it's over 70. We've been adding people, adding goals. We have 70 plus creators right now. We have like Don Marshall, Diana the Rose, Jordan Brown, Extra the King, Smoking Glue Guns. We just have a ton of really cool people involved, and I'm very excited to see where it goes.
I was checking out the link. Something you got a bunch of great creators donating some really cool stuff.
Yeah, we have a lot of cool people. Start Playing Games is donating some gift cards. Basically, you can pay $25 for a $25 gift card. You can donate a little bit to charity and get just a gift card for a free game, basically, or a couple free games, even potentially. We have some stuff like somebody is the Dark Modiste is putting up bodists. Was it bodists or like it's like Ren Fair? What are those things where it like grips your center? What are those called? Are those bodists?
Right.
Got some of those. A lot of
Corsets?
people. Corset may be a better word for it. We have VJ Harris. They are putting up like professional DMing and GMing skills. There's honestly, it's so many to count. I feel like if I were to go on I could go on for it's actually been like a bit of a.
It sounds like you've started something really great. So
Yeah, I'm surprised. I'm surprised. Like the last time I did something like this was for my birthday in like 2022. And I was like, hey, I'm going to spend the entire month for my birthday. I'm going to donate all the money I make from social media, TikTok, and I'm going to try and raise some money. And I was like, hey, if anybody wants to help out, let me know. I got like a couple of maybes. And then, flash forward a couple of years, like a year and a half. The inbox is full. Like everybody's joining in. And I'm really happy with where we're at. The only issue that we really run into, and I think I mentioned to y'all before we got on live, is TikTok doesn't like things that mention Gaza, charity, stuff like that. Really, if it feels like it's an advertisement or a promo, it really levels off your views because it wants you to pay for promotion. So it's just been tough getting the word out more than anything else. But even with the small amount of penetration we've done into like the millions of people on TikTok, I think we're doing pretty good.
Yeah, I feel like you said, because Facebook is the same way. The moment like you start sharing links, they kind of like squash any like organic reach that you'll have. So, but the organic reach that you have garnered is reaching far and wide, because I'm seeing people push your charity all throughout my TikTok.
Oh, that makes me so happy.
Yeah,
yeah. So happy to hear.
Before we even set this interview, I've seen people pushing the charity. People like, I'll make a JJK character set from Gojo Sukuna. But
that's Daniel Hargrove, I think.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like, and you're doing the right thing, and it's and the community is definitely stepping behind you.
Yeah, I appreciate that, and I definitely feel the love from everybody. Just waiting. I feel like maybe I could be putting too much weight on the charity and everything. I feel like we're just like one like solid video, because I know personally the biggest video I've done for this specifically, it's not even like, it doesn't even hit like 20K views, and most of them are sitting at like 1K, 2K, 3K. I feel like we're like one viral video away from like, I don't know, making a lot of money, making a real difference for this charity. So I keep on like waiting for it to happen. Hopefully it will.
Just keep running your course, man. It'll the randomest things go viral. So
true.
And you had ran a charity before this one, right?
Yeah, I've done a couple. So I think it was January 21. I did another January charity where like I think I just hit like 50K followers, and I wanted to kind of celebrate. So I did a charity for, I think it was like Let's Play. And then for my birthday, I did the Trevor, like a year or two later, I did the Trevor Project. And then this year it's Doctors Without Borders. This one's the biggest by far. I think it's doubled my previous like haul for a charity in the month. We're not even done with the month yet, so.
That's beautiful.
Right. That is beautiful. Outstanding. Especially for Doctors Without Borders, because I personally don't trust a lot of these companies, but Doctors Without Borders I trust.
Yeah.
And we're doing this for what's happening over in the Middle East, right?
Yeah, this is specifically for their emergency relief fund, and they've got two major targets right now. They don't necessarily delineate to specific causes, but the emergency relief right now is covering, there was an earthquake in Afghanistan, and then the second major thing they're working on is in Gaza. So they've actually got boots on the ground in Gaza at hospitals. I believe one of their workers was recently injured in Gaza as well. They were like hit with like a sniper or something like that. So they're risking it all right now for sure.
Yes, they are.
Okay. I got a question. What was the cruelest thing you've done as a DM?
Cruelest thing I've done as a DM.
Cause you're just so nice and jovial. I'm like, nah. During the game, I could see this going really, really bad.
I've definitely done some cruel things. I'm not like an adversarial DM by nature. I'm definitely more like a cheerleader. Like I want you to get the thing that you want. Maybe I'll just tamper it so it makes sense, that type of thing. I actually did something which I thought was pretty messed up, and it was Vampire the Masquerade actually, and this was just this week. So Vampire the Masquerade, it's not uncommon to have like you can control people, you can mess with their memories, you can like brainwash them, and my wife and some of her friends, I'm basically running the game for them. and they were, you know, in a nightclub. There was a shooting, like a big tier vampire came up, kind of like halfway saved them, and then they wanted answers from this, and this big tier vampire is also like a sire to one of her friends. They wanted some answers from this gunman, so they were like, "Oh, like, you know, let us talk to him." He's like, "No, I'm going to talk to him." They like, one of them tries to go in and ask questions, and he legitimately, she has like a brain fart. I basically tell her, it's like, you don't remember anything. What happened? You exit the room. You think he's like a really great guy that helped you and saved you. And I think,
Wow.
yeah, like, he, you know, you didn't see anything, you didn't hear any of the weird shit that he said to like this gunman, because he was basically telling this gunman, like, you don't remember anything about this. You're gonna go outside and like off yourself with a police officer's gun. Like, he's like cinching this up tight.
God
Um,
damn.
yeah, no, it gets, Vampire Masquerade's dark.
Yeah, I'm about to say
Um,
it gets pretty bad.
Yeah, like, and I think this was as probably as dark as it's gotten so far. But this guy is like not a good guy, so it makes sense for him. And then like he just like snapped his fingers and like brainwashed her, and now like her character at least thinks that he's like a dreamy fucking dude that just saved her. And I think that player, and I like say, is okay. Like, this is going to get a little weird. Maybe it's going to be a little brainwashy. Okay with that? And she's like, yeah, it's fine. But it was her first. Like, she's played a lot of Dungeons and Dragons, and there's just not a lot of that in D&D. You know, like hard, like fuck you type of like moments where it's gonna like fuck your brain up. So that was probably the most like messed up thing I've done in a hot minute.
Mm.
Do you have a favorite tabletop game?
Such a hard question. Favorite, I think I have passing favorites. You know, I'm definitely a type of person that like reads a book. It's like, oh, I love everything about this, and then, you know, I'll play it a couple of times and go to the next one. It's like, oh, this is amazing. Into the Odd is probably one of my favorite tabletop RPG systems. It's like really light. It takes very little prep, and players can pick it up really easy. I think like the biggest complaint people have with like playing a different game, it's like, oh, well, I don't want to learn a whole other system. I don't want to learn it. It's so complicated. Into the Odd, you have like 3 stats. It's a roll under system. It's D20. You know, like it's so easy to play. I even actually made an adventure for it, and put it up on like Drive Through RPG. But yeah, I would say it's just one of those things you can always pick up and play. So I love it. And I'd say maybe up in there is also Merkborg and all its different like variants. Dungeons and Dragons is always near and dear to my heart. But yeah.
Are you in on any trading card games?
I have tried to get into Magic the Gathering. I had a friend that was really into it a couple of years ago, and I tried my best to get into it. Couldn't do it. I tried to do, was it it's the app version of it. It's not, I know there's an app of of Magic the Gathering, but it's Blizzard's version of it. What is that called?
Hearthstone.
I tried to get into Hearthstone, couldn't get into it. I have some friends that are getting like Lorcana now, and I'm just staying clear. I did get the Vampire the Masquerade trading card thing. I'm going to try and get into that. We'll see.
There's a Star Wars one coming out that I think I'm going to try.
I remember them having trading cards when I was a kid, and I remember having a ton of those cards, but never actually playing the game.
Yeah, there's some game they have coming out because I tried it at PAX Unplugged, and I had to admit I had a hell of fun with it. And I was just like, oh, okay,
There was,
I'm like,
I don't know.
I'm not sure about giving Disney my money for this, but damn it.
Yeah, that's what I've heard. A lot of it. It's like there was a couple of those, I think, at PAX. People like, I don't want to give Disney my money, but
yeah, because they had a line for
fun.
something about villains.
Yeah, I think, isn't Lorcana also a Disney thing?
I don't know, but there was this husky ass line for this one thing,
It is.
and they were like, yeah, no more people in. I was like, Miss, I don't even know what this is. I was like, I don't.
Yeah,
I'm trying to get over to the Warhammer section.
I think it's called like Villainous. Villainous is like a big board game now. But yeah, they are doing. I was also a victim of PAX Unplugged. I don't know if you went there, but it was, what is it? It's Panic in Gotham City. Did you see that?
I saw that.
The AR game. I got it. It's sitting behind me right now. like I was influenced, I was sold. I still need to play it. I'm trying to get, like, my wife and I have been sick, holidays and stuff, so I'm waiting to get a couple people over because I think you can do like 4 or 5 people. So I've been the only issue, and I feel kind of dumb. I think it's going to be fun, but it is even the guy was like, yeah, you kind of play it once. You can play it over again, but really it's a one-time playthrough game. I was like,
wow.
I'll get it, I guess.
So what's the goal with the charity?
Goal with the charity financially right now, our current goal is to get to 6K. In my heart of hearts, because we've had to raise the goal on the Tiltify. I think this is the 3rd time we've had to raise it. In my heart of hearts, I want to hit 10K. I think 10K would be just a cool number to say that we raised.
Right.
But yeah, I think if we can, my initial idea for this one was just like 30 or like 10 or 15 or 30 of us was like, if we get to 5K, I'll buy people like trophies and stuff. It's just now we're getting to a point where there's enough people involved that buying trophies for everybody will be like a significant financial issue for me. Even if they're like $10 each, we're talking 70 people. So I gotta figure that out. I
What
did
the
say I was
hell
gonna
is
buy.
going on with demons?
Oh yeah. I've been trying to like not.
Because I really
everywhere.
have been like, I'm like, what is going on? Then I'm just like,
Huh?
what? Nothing.
You're perfect. You're great.
Nah. What's going on? I'm up here
You
trying
know
to
what?
share the links and what this.
We
She
can
fell
see
asleep
your
on me.
camera.
She fell
Yeah.
asleep on me.
Is that what? See Ryan? That's that Bard stuff.
I mean, yeah, I don't. If this is the type of behavior you bring into D&D, I think you fit the stereotype perfectly for where you are.
She put on clothes, and then she just laid on me and fell asleep. Okay, I ain't do shit.
Okay.
Speaking of virtual, what do you think of the BTTRT thing going around?
Oh, like virtual tabletops?
Yeah.
I think it's great. I use Roll20. No disrespect to Roll20. It could be a whole lot better. I don't know if you guys use any kind of VTTs or anything. Or do you do mostly in person?
So we started with Roll20. Then we're moving on to something else that just dropped over on Steam now.
Oh, there's a bunch of them coming out right now. So there's like Roll, Albert Radio, Alchemy,
Foundry.
Yeah, Foundry is really good. I really like Foundry. It's just like a little too complicated to set up. It may be better now. I tried to set up something like a year ago. Dungeons and Dragons, like Wizards of the Coast, is coming out with their own like official one. There's also like, I think
their own virtual now.
See, Wizards of the Coast, they've been on some bullshit lately.
They have been.
So, for the past 2 years or so now.
Yeah, it has gotten bad.
Yeah.
Them putting out something official just makes me go, all right.
It could be great. I am worried about how much it's going to cost because D&D Beyond, I think it's like $7.99. They have not said if it's going to increase the amount that it's going to cost you to like tack that on because it's supposed to be all through D&D Beyond. I assume it's going to cost you an additional fee. And then they've been very conservative in the wording they've used in like the dungeons. You're burning some sand.
Mm-hmm.
For what?
I'm so sorry, Ryan.
Plunging the screen.
No, what? Not for you. It's for West Coast.
Oh, okay. Wizards of the Coast.
Mm-hmm.
Wizards of the Coast, yeah.
Okay. I was about to say, I've done nothing, sir. You can't prove shit.
That's that guilty conscience talking.
True Bard.
But yeah, they've been very conservative because like you would assume that if you like bought a book from them, you would get all of the maps on there in their VTT.
Guess again.
They've never said that. the most they've said about it is like, oh, you'll get a free dungeon when you buy a book through us for this VTT. So what I'm hearing there is you're gonna have to pay like another 30, 40, 60, 70, however many dollars
Hello,
Yeah.
to get the dungeon.
microtransactions.
Yeah.
And then they've also been talking about like, oh, you're gonna be able to make your own little miniature in there. You're gonna be able to make your own dungeons, but they have at no point said, and it's gonna be free. I'm thinking it's gonna be you got to buy content packs or a subscription service on top of that.
Yo,
Every time they come up with new stuff, it's gonna be like they're gonna drop content.
Yo.
It's gonna be EA all over.
Wizards of the Coast is literally tabletop EA.
And their CEO, I believe, came from Microsoft, and their biggest contribution to Microsoft was like running their microtransactions team.
Of course.
So,
Of course.
And the weirdest thing about Microsoft, microtransactions are normally for like relevant things, unless you just want dumb cosmetic stuff.
Exactly.
No,
I agree. So I think it's gonna, and I mean, they're just the entire language that they've been using about players and DMs. Like I want to say midpoint of last year, around May, maybe June, there was like an investor call, and they were like kind of complaining about their current situation. Like, our player base is under monetized. The DM or the GM buys everything. The players might buy some stuff, but really the GM buys it all, shares it, and then we're not getting, instead of 10 people being charged, 8 people being charged, we're charging one person, and then 10 people get to use it. So I feel like it's just going to get worse from here. Like they keep on making these weird decisions. They keep on making like aggressively anti-consumer choices. It's tough.
I'm gonna go build my own virtual tabletop with blackjack and hookers.
And that's what's happening. That's what's happening. A lot of DMs and TTRPG creators said, "Screw it! I create my own system." And I took away from WotC, which you see from Critical Role. They got 2 different game systems.
Right.
You're gonna start
I don't have blackjack or hookers.
Like, listen, you guys might have been here the longest, but you're not the only game in town.
Exactly. I actually got to interview so for Candela Obscura, the Critical Role one, I got to interview at PAX Unplugged. I got to talk to the 2 main designers of that, Rowan Hall and Spencer.
Oh, nice.
Nice. It was pretty cool. I didn't get to meet any of the other like Critical Role people. That would have been pretty awesome. But it was a lot of fun. Shit. Yeah. I'm small fish compared to them. I might get a passing glance or a handshake maybe eventually once I get like 500,000 followers. But no, it was really cool, and I really like the idea of people kind of moving away from 5th edition, just because I think it's been a big issue with a lot of like indie creators is like, how do I peel off audience from Dungeons and Dragons? It's the biggest deal in the room. It's got all of these people involved. It's got all the star power involved. And Wizards of the Coast has really helped with that. The OGL stuff, saying weird stuff about the people that play their game, the AI art stuff, like everything they've done to kind of like piss off one segment of their player base or another. I think it's been good because, once, a monolith is never good. Having a healthy field of a lot of different options is where it's really at. So
this is true. All right. So any new games you're looking forward to this year? Tabletop or otherwise?
Oh, so I've got a couple Kickstarters that I've backed recently that should be coming out next year, or I guess this year. So there is I backed the Mothership box set, and this was years ago. Hopefully it's supposed to be coming out this year. Mothership is a kind of a rules light sci-fi horror game. So you can do a lot of different adventures. You can do things like Alien-esque. You can do things more like a little bit, if you're like more of a commoner on the Warhammer 40K side, where everything can kill you in one hit type of deal. I'm excited for that. There is a really cool Kickstarter that I just backed for Mouse Ritter, which is a pretty fun game. You play a little mouse knight on adventures. And it's called like the Tomb of 1,000 Doors. And the artwork is just really cool for it. It's all there's like a turtle lich, and there's like a weird. I believe there's like a Strahd analog for a rat. I can't remember. It's like Whiskers Von Zaro Whiskers or something like that. It's very fun, very cute, and it looks really cool. It's like a big mega dungeon for it. So I back that. Video games is a tougher question. I feel so disconnected from video games right now.
It's okay.
I still haven't beat Baldur's Gate 3. If that puts in perspective how well I've played video games recently.
There's so many things. First off, there's so many ways to go about ending Baldur's Gate 3.
Oh yeah.
It's like so that's fine.
Yeah.
Are we?
What'd you say?
I'm trying to think.
I won't let him finish his thought.
Oh no, I'm thinking really hard about the things I might be looking out for. Please go ahead if you have some.
Are we going to see any type of products or anything from the Run DMG brand in the future? Like your own books, your own 5e books and stuff like that?
I don't have any 5e books planned right now. I do have an itch and a drive-through RPG, and I've made one adventure for Into the Odd because I really like Into the Odd. I made another adventure for Cairn, which is kind of like an offshoot or a hack of Into the Odd. It's same basic rules, different kind of outlook, some other things attached to it. And then I make one-page tabletop RPGs, like like Honey Heist type stuff. So I made a couple of those. I'm gonna try and do some more writing this year. But yeah, that's definitely down. Like I have like one or two 5e adventures like in my back pocket, but the formatting and all of the art and stuff you need for 5e adventures, like to make it look like a good 5e adventure, is so tough, and like my brain just can't like do the formatting without like breaking down. They just have a very specific format guide, and you can't get it put on a DM's Guild unless it actually like fits the formatting guide. It's kind of a pain.
Yeah, I remember I played. Me and my friends used to play tabletop Anima.
Okay, yeah.
But we ran it on 5e.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah. like he was like, yeah, guys, we're gonna play Anima. We were like, word, but we're going on 5e. We're just like, oh. All right. Cowabunga it is.
Very cute one.
Do you have a favorite campaign out of 5e?
Favorite campaign out of 5e? I really like.
Apparently recording. My bad.
Very good. I really like Tome of Annihilation, which it's kind of a fun game to play. It's a bit of a hex crawl. It's big, wide open. Depending on how you run it, it could take like a couple of months. I've been playing it with my friends for a couple of years now because we've just been like doing a bunch of stuff all over the place. But it's a lot of fun, and it's got like a really nice little mega dungeon at the end where there's like a lot of real danger. I like that one. Strahd is also a lot of fun, I think.
Yeah, Strahd probably my favorite.
Strahd's a lot of fun. It's just like big, wide open. They can kind of go everywhere. There's a lot of real danger. There's a lot of good places for you.
Are we talking about Strahd?
Yeah, Strahd.
I miss Strahd.
Strahd's a lot of fun.
We turned him and his wife into fine red mist.
I'm more of an Out of the Abyss, and I want to say, yeah, I'll say the Dragon Heist.
I liked Out of the Abyss. I ran that for a couple of years, and we were getting pretty close. We were barely halfway. I think I ran that for 3 years, and we were barely halfway. Because my players, whenever they would get to a place, they just want to explore and do everything. So every time we hit like a major location, they would mess around there for like months and do different things, make their own little mini quests inside the place.
I mean, you got
I had two people that I had two people that were in a relationship in the campaign, and later last year they split, so we had to like ex-nay the whole thing because like half of it was some of his friends, the other half was like some of her friends. I was friends with like both, and it just couldn't exist in the same space anymore. Which is a buzzkill. We were more than halfway.
I've seen that scenario play out before.
That look.
Woo. It's just like can't roll. You can't roll your way out of this situation, my friend.
No, you can't. It's so yeah. It stung too, because that was like that wouldn't survive like COVID. It survived a bunch of stuff, and the one thing it couldn't survive was two of the players breaking up. And it was like not an
Yeah,
amicable
sounds about
breakup
right.
either. It wasn't like a friends, let's be friends. It was like
a
I.
fair a
It was
fair of
like
the
we're done
heart can
forever.
ruin it. Can ruin many a thing.
Yeah. It's it happens though. Anything that it happens to friend groups all the time. People split up and do other things, so it makes sense.
Mm-mm-mm.
What are
Needed
you running
more
right
charisma.
now?
What was that? Sorry.
What are you running up right now? What campaign are you playing now?
So I got that Vampire the Masquerade campaign that I'm running with my wife and her friends, which it's honestly been a lot of fun. I didn't know if they would dig it because Vampire the Masquerade's like a little. It's not very complicated to run. It's just like the startup is very complicated. There's a lot of their books are not well laid out, so it's a little confusing. But they love it. I'm running I'm have an ongoing Out of the Abyss campaign that I've not Out of the Abyss, sorry, Tome of Annihilation.
Oh,
So that one's been going really well. We're in the last little section, so that's actually probably getting close to finishing. And then I don't think I have a podcast too. So I've been playing a podcast called like Dice Populi for the last couple of years. We started it like 5 years ago, and we're just now about to finish our like first season.
Oh
So
wow,
it's gone on for so long.
wow.
So that's that. And then as part of our like Patreon, there is like we've been playing Quest. So I don't know if y'all are familiar with Eberron as the setting for D&D.
I am.
So yeah. So we're playing. It's Eberron, but we're using the Quest tabletop RPG system. So it's pretty reminiscent of D&D. It's just far more simple. They break up the.
It breaks. I would say it makes it like 40% easier or broken down.
Yeah, it's a lot less complex. You don't have to worry about like strict feet and everything. So it was for like a Patreon thing. We were already really busy, so it was just a little bit less amount of work to get everything like coordinated and ready. It's also more of like a narrative game. It's more of a talky game. You don't necessarily have to roll for everything. So I've got that going on. I think those are the only ones I have regularly going on. The rest are just like little one shots. I have friends that do like kind of drop in, drop out style stuff, on I think usually it actually tends to be on Wednesdays. So there's a Blades in the Dark game that I've done pretty semi-consistently, not as a GM, but as a player. If y'all haven't tried Blades in the Dark, I highly recommend it.
I have
Blades
not.
in the Dark. Okay.
It's a lot of fun. It's different. It's a heavy narrative game. So there's also the play structure is pretty different. But it's like perfectly set up for like heists. It's really like a heist game or like a high stakes adventure type of game because they have like flashbacks. You're really not supposed to do a lot of planning before you go out on your heist. It's that you do you do flashbacks, or you can be like, oh, I brought this piece of equipment, and then you can kind of change the story from there whenever you reach like a decision point. It's a lot of fun, and if y'all like that kind of like freewheeling, let's do something wild type of gameplay, it's honestly perfect for that. It's
I live
a ton
for
of
that.
fun. Yeah.
Okay, let's check it out. Blades in the Dark. Add it to the list, Corey.
Oh, for sure.
Blades in the Dark.
So we want to hope you get to that 10,000 goal for the charity.
Yeah, I hope so too. I'm really excited. Hopefully, we're not actually quite halfway through the month. I think as long if we keep this pace, we'll be solid. It's just I hope we hit 10K. It would be really cool if we could surpass that. So, got to keep on trucking with it.
When's the last day for it?
We're going to. I think the last day we started on noon the 1st, so we'll probably end the noon the 1st of February. Will be like the official end.
Okay.
It might go on a few days after that, just because I know that I said that I would drop all of my like TikTok earnings and stuff, and I won't know what those TikTok earnings are until probably a little bit after the month is over. So it will be kind of like soft closed as we're like putting that as I am other people who are probably going to put that together and drop it in. So
Okay.
All right, junkies. So make sure y'all donate. Let's push the charity out to the world, y'all. This is actually a good thing that Run DMG is doing.
We'll find
This is a really good thing.
We're gonna find a way to help. I think I have an idea. I'm gonna talk it over when we're done recording. But seriously, folks, donations going towards Doctors Without Borders, Run DMG. We want to thank you so much for coming through, Ryan. This is first off, it's a real treat to see you again. Second, I am glad you're able to put up with our kookiness. Especially,
I'm happy that I got to talk to another DM, even though you don't have no crazy, stupid players like I do. You don't got no wild stories.
Yeah, I don't have anything like a dragon orgy. No, I don't have anything in my back pocket like that. Maybe I need to get more out of pocket myself.
Yeah,
let me tell you. So one story, right? We was on a cruise ship, and one of the players, I think he was a bard, and he decided to go find a woman, right? So he came across this woman. They end up doing what they was doing, and then her husband comes into their room, right? So my player then proceeds to kill him, cut him up, and toss him out the porthole of the ship. And then he decided to pimp her out for money while he was on the ship.
I feel like I know which player this is. I feel like I know which player this is.
I'm sure I know which player this is.
Those are the people that I'm playing with.
One of the dumbest things I've done with in a game, it was in Anima. I was partnered up with someone who their health regenerates at such a crazy ass rate. And we were stuck behind a door. And I'm a brute. So I was just like, you know what? I want to use my partner as a battering ram. And my DM was just like, yeah, we could do that. Meanwhile, my homie's like, but you're going to kill me. I'm like, no, you regenerate pretty fast. He's like, you got to roll a 15 or higher. I rolled an 18. I yeeted him straight through the door. He was just like, he was like, yeah. He's like, you're hurt, but you'll be all right in like one turn. You'll be all right. Walk it off.
Walk it off.
But throughout the whole campaign, when in doubt, I just used it as a weapon. I'm just like, it's like, I missed my spear. About to throw him. He's like, wait, not again. He's like, hey, gotta roll over a 10. 12. Yeet.
I'm trying to think of crazy story. This is more me as a player. We were going through a dungeon. There's a bunch of orcs and stuff like that, and they were like mercenaries. They'd been paid by this. I believe it was a dragon in the basement to like guard. We're trying to sneak in. I'm invisible and flying because it's like a Pathfinder game, so it's pretty easy to do multiple things at the same time. And I remember there was a couple of guards in this room having a conversation. We were listening in, and they finished their conversation, and they were just kind of like milling around. I was able to kill both of them in the same round. And the rest of the people at the table were like, what are you going to do now? They're going to find the bodies. My good idea of how to cover it up was I wrote a note, and then I positioned them in such a way that it was like a lover's quarrel. So I make them naked. They're all naked. I close the door. I put a note or whatever, lover's quarrel. Have them kind of like holding each other. That's my wildest story. I think is
that would make any guard just want to awkwardly close that door. Yeah. It's just like, you know what? Nope.
No parts of that.
Not paid enough. Not paid enough. But that's hilarious. But seriously, let's give a round to Run DMG for coming through today. I appreciate
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me. It's awesome to see you again.
Likewise. Of course, we want to thank you guys out there for checking us out. For those who've downloaded the podcast today, we want to thank you again for tuning in. Of course, we can't do this without you. Thank you for your support. And for those out there on YouTube, hopefully you are subscribed to us, because our view to subscribe ratio is not where it needs to be. So if you're watching this,
you have a YouTube, Ryan?
Yeah, but I post everything I post on TikTok. I post in the like YouTube shorts.
right.
We'll make sure we put all the Ryan links in the description. Of course, to the charity, to his Patreon, so you can do his podcast, and to his YouTube. Check him out.
But we want to thank you. We want to thank you guys for watching this. Hopefully, you're subscribed. If you're not subscribed, you need to. So make sure you hit that little red sign and hit that bell, so you can always be tuned into Amerime Media and our wild ass antics. Isn't that right, Demon
Subscribe,
Engine?
or I'm coming for them left shoes, fuckers.
To Demon Engine wild ass antics.
What? While I haven't done anything as of late.
You scarred our guest.
I did not scar that guest.
He's fine. But seriously, we want to thank you guys for checking us out here at the Amerime Junkies podcast. Be sure to check us out on Amerime Media and Amerime Wire. We'll see you guys next time. Please be well. All right, Comic Boss. Tell them you love them.
Peace. We love y'all.
Demon.
Fuck y'all. From the bottom of my heart, with love. Fuck.
These are the players that I play with. Right?
And to be fair, I had gave a warning that there would be a tiny little deep blue demon on screen.
You did.
That is true.
You did. Didn't say what their outfit was going to be initially, but
right.
Come say hi.
All right, you get in the stream. It's another one. Awesome.
Oh Lord.
All right,
Folks,
the stream.